Think about the last time you walked into an art supply store. The walls were lined with hundreds of paint tubes, each one labeled with a name that sounds almost poetic. Cadmium yellow, Prussian blue, burnt sienna, alizarin crimson. You probably looked at all of that and thought, okay, I need to buy most of this to paint something decent. But here is a wild little secret that artists have been sitting on for centuries. Most of what you see in the natural world, most of the color in a sunset, a forest, a human face, can be recreated using just 3 colors. 3, that is it. Now before you roll your eyes, stick with me here, because this is not some oversimplified art class lecture. This is actually one of the most fascinating puzzles in all of fine art, and once you understand it, the way you look at color will never be quite the same again. So let us start at the very beginning. Primary colors in traditional painting are red, yellow, and blue. These are called primary because you cannot create them by mixing other colors together. They are the starting point. The source, everything else, at least in theory, comes from them. Artists across history, from the Renaissance painters grinding their own pigments to the Impressionists working in the open air, all understood this fundamental truth. Color is not infinite chaos. It has a structure, a logic, and a quiet kind of order underneath all that visual noise. When you start mixing 2 primaries together, you get what are called secondary colors. Red and yellow give you orange. Yellow and blue give you green. Blue and red give you violet. Now you have 6 colors to work with, and things are already getting interesting. But the real magic does not stop there, not even close. Those 6 colors can be mixed with each other and with the originals to produce what artists call tertiary colors. Red-orange, yellow-orange, yellow-green, blue-violet. Red-violet. Now you are sitting at 12 distinct color families on the color wheel. 12 from 3. But even that is just the beginning of the story. Here is where things start to get a little mind-bending. Within any single mixed color, you can shift the ratio of the paints. A little more red, a little less blue, a touch more yellow. Each adjustment creates a subtly different hue, and then you bring in value, which is the lightness or darkness of a color, achieved by adding white or black or sometimes more of the other primaries. And you bring in saturation, which is how vivid or muted a color appears. When you start layering all of these variables on top of each other, the number of distinct colors you can produce grows at a rate that is honestly hard to wrap your head around. Professional artists know this deeply. A painter working on a portrait does not just use one version of skin tone. They mix warm shadows, cool highlights, reddish midtones, and greenish undertones, all from the same basic palette. A landscape painter captures the difference between morning light and afternoon light, using the same 3 tubes of paint, just mixed in different proportions, lightened, darkened, warmed, or cooled. The color is never really about the paint itself. It is about the relationship between the colors and how the eye reads them against each other. There is also the medium to consider. Watercolor behaves differently from oil. Acrylic dries darker. Gouache is more opaque. The physical properties of the pigment interact with the light in the room and the texture of the surface, creating even more variation. 2 artists, using the exact same 3 primary colors, can end up with paintings that look nothing alike, not because one is more talented, but because the possibilities within those 3 starting points are, for all practical purposes, endless. This is something that surprises a lot of beginners. They start painting with a huge set of pre-mixed colors, and the work often looks flat, a little artificial, somehow off. Then they strip back to basics, learn to mix from primaries, and something shifts. The colors start to feel alive. They harmonize. They breathe. Because when every color in a painting comes from the same 3 sources, they all share a kind of DNA. They belong together on the canvas in a way that pre-mixed colors sometimes do not. Now, the honest answer, the one that painters and color theorists will give you when they are being precise, is that 3 primary colors have real limitations. Some colors, particularly certain bright greens, vivid oranges, and deep purples, are very hard to achieve from a basic red, yellow, and blue. This is why most working artists expand their palette slightly, using 2 reds, 2 yellows, 2 blues, a warm and a cool version of each. That gives them a wider gamut without losing the structure of mixing from scratch. But here is the thing. Here is the part you have been waiting for. The actual answer to the question sitting in the title. How many colors can you make from 3 primary colors? The human eye can distinguish approximately 10 million distinct colors, and a skilled painter working carefully with red, yellow, and blue can reach somewhere between 1 and 2 million of those through mixing alone. Some estimates go higher depending on the pigments used and the conditions of light. 1 to 2 million colors from 3 tubes of paint, a brush, a little patience, and somewhere between 1 and 2 million possibilities sitting right there waiting for you. That is not just impressive. That is one of the most quietly extraordinary facts in the entire world of fine art.